in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's bow our heads. Lord God, we come to you tonight to do the work of Newberry County. We thank you for getting us through the last two weather events for our first responders and stuff and all the citizens in Newberry County, that we didn't have any damage or any bad incidents happen. Also, we want you to continue looking over our first responders when they're out there serving the citizens of Newberry County, and all the citizens of the county, and all our staff that work for Newberry County when they're out doing the work for Newberry County. In your name we pray, amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everyone for coming tonight. Thank you. First, I'd like to, Leon could not make it tonight. He had a family emergency, so he will not be here tonight. We'll keep him in our thoughts and our prayers with his family.
And same for Mr. Shacker as well.
And also, Mr. Shacker had a family emergency also with his family. We'll keep them both in our prayers tonight. Okay, first on the agenda, we had election of 26 chairmen. With Leon not being here, we're going to have to table it to the next meeting to have Leon here, but we will table that and move forward. Okay, additions, deletions, adoption from agenda. Do we have a motion?
There's none. I'll make a motion that we...
Okay, and I'll just second, and we'll move forward with it. Okay, update on physical and software. Brandon Wicker, Emergency Service Coordinator.
All right, so I jotted down a few notes. I wasn't in the office much today. Hit a couple notes. All right, so the physicals, I think they're going fairly well right now. Last I heard, we had 36 that had signed up completely for them. That's the current year's physicals. Now, physicals changed a little bit when we sent them out last year for a quote, because the company that was typically doing them, I don't think they put a bid in. So we're doing them at Newberry Hospital. From what I'm hearing, it's a little bit more comprehensive physical, probably a little bit better. Some guys are, struggling to get through, but I think for the most part, we've gotten through and learning. It's a learning curve for us as well as for Newberry Hospital. But what I'm up here tonight to talk a little bit about is, with this new OSHA standard that's coming down the pipe, it's changing a lot of things for us in the fire service and the rescue world. OSHA is going to require all of our members that are members of an emergency department to have some form of physical. It's real easy to understand for the firemen in the room, the firefighter physical that we have been doing for the last couple of years. But OSHA's saying that, from all the emergency responders, that's, from your admin people to your medical people, all of them have to have some form of physical. So we've been doing a little digging and trying to find different counties and fire departments and other agencies that are doing these tiered physicals. There, you have one tier for your operators and another tier for for other people. So we're looking into that. I'm speaking with Meg at the hospital. She's over kind of taking charge of our firefighter physicals that we're doing this year. And I'm going to speak to her a little more about how can we break it down and what's the price difference. But we're looking at going to at least 2 tiers of physical. You'll have one that's the full-blown run on the treadmill and all this other stuff, and then the other is going to cut out, I think, the treadmill and possibly the lung capacity test. We have put in the budget request more money. That's why that request will come through. Looks higher than it did for last year's budget, but that's because we're trying to get ahead of the curve. That way we're not playing catch up when the OSHA stuff comes down the pipe. That's kind of everything that we're doing. We're trying to be proactive out of our office, with budget increases and all. Trying to be proactive in getting ahead of the game on the OSHA stuff. But that's About all I have on the physicals. I'll know more when I can speak to Meg and we can kind of work out what a price may look like and how those other physicals may look. I'll know more whenever we can have a discussion about it. Any questions about it?
So on the tier one will be the higher level physical.
Yes.
Tier two will be no treadmill or lung capacity, so
Right.
those people will not be able to wear a Scott pack.
Right, they will not, that's right, they would not be in the SCBA. If you're gonna do the lung capacity test and the physical with treadmill and all that, that would be someone that's gonna be, full operator, whether they're confined space or, gonna be in the air pack. And the other ones, we would work it out to figure out, what is most needed for that tier two. That would be a discussion that I would have, not only with Meg, to figure out what they can do and then what their ideas may be, but also with the rescue squads and the other fire departments, figure out kind of where we all need to be standing on that. Because I don't think there's any, like, hard line guidelines on where they have to be, but there's certain things that have to be in them. So that's why we're kind of going through other agencies and figuring out what they're doing and how they're doing it well.
I missed it, Brandon, but how many people do you have this year to take the physicals?
I don't know how many we had so far, and I would have to go back and pull that spreadsheet, but that spreadsheet has changed a number of times since the original time I sent it out. But I believe I had sent out, maybe it was 120 people to the hospital. Now, whether all 120 go through and do it, I don't know. They come from fire department chiefs and rescue chiefs as to who they wanted to go through, who they had to go through the physical. Because of the way the hospital's doing it, they had to have an order for everyone to get the blood work. So that's why I did it. That's why I had to do it that way.
Okay. These are working pretty good with being, with the schedules.
I think may have had some hiccups, but I believe it's working okay. I don't know, I have to ask some of the people that have done it. Anyone in here done it?
Starts tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's our first physical.
You've done it?
I've had my blood draw, I haven't had the physical itself, tomorrow's the first day that you're doing it.
And I go through mine tomorrow morning, so, I mean, you want to call me in about 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll see. I'll let you know how I feel about it.
I was really thinking about the scheduling and.
The schedule, they left it's a lot of time slot. It's some morning slots, some afternoon slots, depending on what day you go.
Okay,
They take them all out into the evening. I think the latest slot is like 7,
okay, that's good.
and they were able to do 4 on each time slot.
Okay, that's good.
So they could do 4 at a time, but we did all through the month of February. And if we need to add some more, we can go back and add some more.
Okay, good.
All right?
Thank you.
All right, so now my second one. That was gonna be on the report management system. So currently on the fire side, and 2 rescue squads use Image Trend. The county has been on Image Trend, I wanna say maybe somewhere between 12 and 15 years using Image Trend. About a year and a half ago, questions came up about the difficulty of using Image Trend. Departments didn't like it. It wasn't really easy for them to use, put reports in, put the PCRs in for the rescue squads. So we kind of started looking at other report management softwares. We first looked at see if there was a way to make Image Trend easier to use. It's really not. It is a robust system, and if you want to hire us an IT guy, then we could probably use it really well. The system is really built out. But we looked at ESO and First Due. Now, ESO, I got pricing from ESO. ESO is rather pricey based on the way that we have to set it up in Newberry County. But it's a good system. 5 of the rescue squads, the ones that make up Nikisa, they moved into ESO, when was that, Chris?
June 1st of last year.
Okay, June 1st of last year. So when I was looking at ESO, I decided I was going to go and dig a little deeper, see if there's any more. did a little research, and I came across First Due. Now, First Due is set up very similar to ESO, works very similar to ESO. There's a number of departments in the state of South Carolina that use it. Lexington County is one that's really close to us. I reached out to those guys and talked to them. Reached out to a battalion chief in Greer and spoke to him about it because they also use PCRs, and they seem to like it. Everyone I've talked to seems to like it. Even the ones that came from ESO to First Due seem to like it better. And the price wasn't as bad as ESO. So I went in and I set it all up, and I had them price it out to where the pricing would look similar to between ESO and First Due. Now, Image Trend is broke down across all departments. Each department has their own login. When we were pricing ESO, the discussion and the decision was made to where we would price ESO out with all 11 fire departments, and then we would price it out with the 2 individual rescue squads, and then the 5 as one. So the 5 would be priced out as Nikisa. That they would be priced out as one. So that's how I priced it out. And comparing the pricing, ESO had us at about $47,000 annually. First Due come in at $29,600 annually. That's going to come with a 5% reduction based on the source well discount. So the price will come down a little bit, probably south of $29,000. Now, none of these prices include tax. They did not put the tax in the quote. So we would still, that's going to bring it up a little bit. But what I'm here today is to ask from the fire departments, when I showed them the First Due and we talked about it, and then the rescue squads that are still currently using Image Trend, they said go ahead, and what I'm wanting to do is I'm asking county council and asking you guys tonight if we could consider doing a prorated account that would begin as soon as we could get all the paperwork filed. For 5 months, that would go from March through July. And then we would start the contract, the annual contract would start on August the 1st. That prorated amount is $18,173. That includes the $6,500 implementation and training. Now, that would not have to be paid again. That's only a one-time fee. When I set it up to where there's actually a slot still there for Nikisa to come over. If Nikisa wants to come to First Due, they can come over back to First Due, and it's also a slot in there for the EMS. It's just in there because of you never know what the future holds. But EMS was put in there as well. So we have a slot for Nikisa, a slot for EMS, a slot for all 11 fire departments. The bigger sell to First Due was that they have an AI system built into their program to where writing reports becomes a lot easier. Don't necessarily have to go back and type it all in at the station. It's app-based, so you can put the app on your phone, log in on the call, and basically talk to your phone. And it will fills out about 80% of the report. There are checks and balances. You do need to go back and look and make sure that it pulled out the correct information, but it will fill out about 80% of your report if everything works out right. It also, hopefully that would help with our, with the fire chiefs and the fire departments being able to put these reports in and getting a little bit more accurate data. But if we could do the prorated, what that will allow me to do, and that's the reason why I'm asking for a prorated instead of waiting till the contract would run out, is that would give me an opportunity to be in 2 systems at once. That way our guys can still continue to work where they're at. while we're doing the initial bringing over of data, of some of the data that we can bring over, that would be trucks and, all that, equipment and stuff that's in the system currently. That way we could see how it fits into the system and what changes we may need to make. If all works out well with that, that would be about April. I would figure we could start with training on some departments. If we have some departments that are comfortable, maybe they could start putting in reports sometime in the end of April, and that way we can get a kind of a beta test of seeing how they like it, how it's flowing, and make sure that we can get everything that we need to be corrected prior to it ending, in July, prior to Image Trend ending in July. And that would also give me a chance to get everyone in it by possibly May or June, and everybody's putting all their data in on first due, and then I can bring all the reports over from then. But that's what I really would like is if we could get that approved to do the contract, the prorated contract, $18,173. Plus, it'll be plus tax.
Okay. Carl, you got any questions?
None on that.
Okay. And on the money wise, with Leon not being here tonight, being able to have a vote.
Well, I mean, we would just recommend it going to council, and,
Okay.
we'd have to vote on it during
Good.
council, so.
That will give us a chance to look at the current budget, current expenditures.
How much we
and see
got,
if we
right.
can come up with it.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. For-wise on, each fireman can download it on their phone. Okay, so you can do it in the field and,
Unlimited on the users. It's
Okay.
unlimited on the users, so we can have anyone on it, and then it's just an assignment of which station they are assigned to.
okay,
Quick, can I ask a quick
Sure.
question? What's the current annual cost for Image Trend?
It's somewhere in the neighborhood of 20.
Okay, so
18
we'd be looking, if we go with first due, about $9,000 or $10,000 a year annual increase.
And we put that in, we also upped our budget request for that item as well.
Okay, so if this were allowed to move forward, it's with the understanding that when the next budget comes through, that cost would have to be approved in the budget, that
Yes.
increase, so.
when would you get the final price on it?
I got the quote right here.
Okay, that's the
The
final
only
price?
thing, the only thing I don't have is it added with tax.
Okay,
Quote's right here.
okay,
That's actually everything, that W-9 and everything. This is the contract, if someone were to sign it.
okay.
And this one is good until, I think it's April 30th, I think.
Okay, great.
Yes, April 30th.
How long have y'all had Image Trend?
That would be a Tommy question.
Wow.
I'm gonna
Okay, but
assume somewhere between
we've gotten
12,
years out of it.
somewhere in 12 and 15 years. Any other questions for me?
I don't have any, you got any?
I've been to one of the stations and watched them when they did some training on doing the industry and stuff, and you got a lot of,
Yeah.
not as user-friendly as.
Reports can be one of the difficult things when you get back from a station. It's one of the difficult projects, and thank you for doing the work on that, Brandon. Okay, next, update on emergency service projects, Tommy Long.
And just to piggyback on what he was talking about, we probably got enough money in our budget, we can move a couple things, some line items to cover that prorated amount.
Okay, great.
Okay, because I was wanting to give y'all an update on a few things that we've been having going on in the fire and rescue. I've got, station generators going in at Pomeria, Little Mountain, Newberry Rescue, and, St. Phillips. They're in the process of putting the pads in and the wiring now. So those should be completed by April timeframe. We've got the 2 new ambulances in. They've been put into service, and Mr. Hall will probably talk about that when he does his report. Fairview's engine is probably gonna be delivered in the next couple of weeks. I know Mrs. Smith and Brandon, they went down to Florida and did a final inspection before they brought it to Greenville. So that should be coming in soon. St. Philip's roof repair has been done. They got a new roof, repair done on the entire roof at the station. So that should take care of the leaks that we were having there. The FEMA update, we usually have them report out at this meeting, but I moved that to the council meeting because I felt like that, I think all the council members need to see that presentation. So our consultant is gonna be at the next council meeting giving us an update on FEMA reimbursements.
I got a question on the roof repair.
Yes, sir.
Was that due to the hailstorm, and was that an insurance claim?
It was not due to the hailstorm. It was a storm that I think it was, when we really noticed it was when Helene came through.